What's going on, guys? Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today I wanted to talk about a Jets narrative that I don't really understand. And what I mean by that is the national media really loves to crap on the New York Jets offensive line. And while I do think the offensive line is going to be a big reason for why the Jets either make or break this year, it feels like other teams, especially other teams even in this division, do not get that same pushback on why a team won't be good. For the Jets, it's, oh, they don't have enough on the offensive line, when comparatively, there's even teams in this division with worse offensive lines that with expectations just as high. So I was watching a clip from Badlands, the Jets podcast with Connor Rogers and Joe Caporoso, and this clip I think is 100% correct, and it kind of sparked this idea that I had, comparing and contrasting the rest of the offensive lines in the division.
Offensive line this summer, which we rightfully should. We're as guilty of this as anyone. We have spent a ton of time worrying and stressing about the offensive line. It's a fair thing to question on the Jets. You know what I haven't heard anything about? Buffalo's offensive line, which looks terrible right now. New England's offensive line, which looks terrible right now. Miami's offensive line, which is beat up. How are these offensive lines blocking the Jets' defensive front, which has Quinnen Williams, John Franklin Myers, Will McDonald, Bryce Huff, Jermaine Johnson, Quentin Jefferson? We'll have Carl Lawson back within a few weeks. What about that matchup? Why are we not hearing about that side of it? So I think every team in the AFC East has offensive line questions. It is not unique to the Jets. I just think the Jets might have the best defensive line to take advantage of it. So that's
Great
me.
point.
So the Jets are set to roll out Dwayne Brown, Laken Tomlinson, Connor McGovern, Elijah Vera-Tucker, and Mekhi Becton as their starting five. Dwayne Brown is coming off an injury, and there is some concern, even though he was okay last year. It wasn't great. Laken Tomlinson had a down year, but you're hoping bounces back. Connor McGovern is a solid starting center. AVT is one of the best young guards in football, and Mekhi Becton, there's high expectation. We know when he's on the field, he's very good. The issue has been staying healthy. But we'll start with the Bills, who is probably they're the favorite in the division. They are the team that everyone in the AFC East is chasing. And comparatively, the Jets have a better offensive line than the Buffalo Bills, but it's never the Bills' offensive line is going to hold them back from being good. Deion Dawkins at left tackle, Connor McGovern, the other Connor McGovern at left guard, Mitch Morse at center, Osiris Torrence at right guard, and Spencer Brown at right tackle. So if you're going position by position, I would take Deion Dawkins at left tackle over Dwayne Brown. That is not a surprise. Dawkins is the best player on that offensive line as their left tackle. I would take Tomlinson over other Connor McGovern. Other Connor McGovern's really kind of fallen off the last few years, really hasn't been solid. I would take Connor McGovern over Mitch Morse, the center, AVT over rookie Osiris Torrence, and Mekhi Becton over Spencer Brown. Spencer Brown is terrible. He is really, really bad. He is not a good right tackle. And even with the Mekhi Becton injury concern, he has significantly more upside and will be more stable than Spencer Brown this year. So I would take 4 of the 5 Jets starters over the Buffalo Bills. The only one that I'm not taking over is Deion Dawkins, who I think is significantly better. I guess Mitch Morse, Connor McGovern is the next closest one, but everything else is really not all that close. So yeah, the Jets have a better offensive line than the Buffalo Bills, but it's not the Buffalo Bills are going to struggle this year because the offensive line's bad. As for the Miami Dolphins, they have a really good left tackle, Teron Armstead, Isaiah Wynn, Connor Williams, Robert Hunt, Austin Jackson. So going through this offensive line, Teron Armstead is obviously better than Dwayne Brown when he's on the field. The issue is that Teron Armstead is always due to miss time. He misses a few games every year, and while I think he is easily the best left tackle in the division when he's healthy, the health is a slight bit of a concern there. I would take Tomlinson over Isaiah Wynn. Isaiah Wynn is a penalty machine and is someone else who has struggled to stay healthy. Connor Williams, definitely I would take him over Connor McGovern. Connor Williams is a really nice center, and I think that's a really good piece for them. Robert Hunt and AVT, I would say, is a wash. I would put those guys as even. I think both are very, very good right guards. And Austin Jackson's abysmal, so I would take Mekhi Becton over Austin Jackson. So this one is close. Again, I would say Armstead is 1, Williams is 2, and that's it. So then I guess it's even because I have 2 for the Dolphins, 2 for the Jets, and one is a wash at right guard. So I would say that one's pretty even. Ironically, the best offensive line might be the New England Patriots, pretty much just outside of right tackle. Their right tackle is not going to be very good, but Trent Brown, Cole Strange, David Andrews, Mike Onwenu, and Riley Reef is their offensive line from left to right. I would take Trent Brown over Dwayne Brown. I would take Tomlinson over Strange, so that's a win for the Jets. Andrews, you're definitely taking over Connor McGovern. I love AVT, but Onwenu's been elite for 3 years since he's been in the league, so I would take him right now. But I would take Becton over Reef. So really the only spot you're taking Tomlinson over Strange and Becton over Reef, but the other three at left tackle, center, and right guard, I would say the Patriots have the edge there. But it's the story is for the Jets in particular that it's going to be their offensive line that holds them back. But are we convinced that the Buffalo Bills are going to be able to handle the Jets pass rush and the Jets defensive line? Like it's again, it just feels like that specific narrative is very Jets heavy and Jets focused, where you can make a strong case that each of these three teams, who are I expect to be competitive anyway, and the Buffalo Bills, New York Jets, and Miami Dolphins, I think all three teams are probably playoff teams, or if not just on the outside looking in. I think those are the three teams, competing for playoff spots in the division. But all three have some question marks on the line. Some of it's health related, like for instance the Dolphins with their left side of their offensive line is health related, and other is skill. Like I don't think the Bills have a good right tackle in Spencer Brown, and I also don't think their right guard is all that. They took Osiris Torrence, which, great. I liked him coming out of the draft, but you don't know what he's going to be as a rookie right guard on a team has championship aspirations. They could have done more on this offensive line, but anyway, it is what it is. But I want to hear from you guys. What is your takeaway? Do you agree with this take that the Jets narrative is a little bit unfair, or and are the critics right and right to ignore the rest of the AFC East issues on the offensive line? Let me know down below in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll catch you next time.